forgot to say that the other crossing was once a guide channel at the Prestonleigh Aqueduct. So there's a sewage crossing and the guide canal feeder, but they've upgraded that, and that soon will be a lovely new footpath through this site of special scientific interest. It's an SSI. Let's find the canal ruins. Oh, and incidentally, we crossed the Irwell again here. So we're back in Bury. Well, it's Whitefield technically, which is now Greater Bury's council land. It's the Bury District Council. Clifton is also Bury. So Bury is actually huge as well as a lot of the other places we see when you go to its borders. It was once just a market on a hill between Manchester and the next town along. So, built in 1796, that's how old these canals are. Carried the Manchester, Bolton and Bury Canal, as we know, across the River Irwell in Clifton near Manchester. That's England or UK. It is now preserved as Grade 2 listed. The aqueduct is constructed of dressed stone with brick arches, 3 segmented arches with keystones rest on a triangular ended cutwater. Over a horse on the side. Must be honest, something quite pleasant about today. Horses galloping by. Lots of people, although we're supposed to avoid them. All you can hear is the sound of voices, clip clip clopping, and birds. I've seen an awful lot of blue tits. Lots and lots, I mean. The most I've seen in a long time, years. So here once again. Just walking through Ringley, point where the Salford Canal now splits and goes through the old waterworks. There's also a tram system went through this area. So there's the canal as it exists today. You can see that's a lock gate to drop down a level. You can also see a wall there. It looks like the canal docks are nearby, but that is another story or another part to the canal. I'm not going to wander off there today. On our right hand side is the River Irwell. We'll get to the M60 viaduct. So we'll walk along the towpath of the original canal. You can see the walls and everything. Fletcher's Canal is parallel over on the far side bank of the water, and with that we are back in the year 2020 as we see the electric pylon and cables. Here's a little bit further down inside the canal. So you look there for those bricks. In 1950, there were 3 forms of transport that featured in the areas we're in. Also there was telegraph and telegrams poles spanning across the valley. There was a Bradford Street Bridge that was just in Bolton, poking out, where you could view all this valley. The Manchester, Bolton and Bury Canal, the railway bridge, and that carried the lines from Bolton, Darwin, Blackburn, as we know. And lorries are now starting to be visible, and cars could go across this land, this terrain, because they were four-wheel drive trucks. So they're bringing the rubbish down to fill the canal, because the canal is now out of use. And the photograph from within a tunnel in Bolton, looking towards these bridges, and it shows a man, could be a woman, could be any person, delivering refuge to be dumped here. The final section before we actually get into the area of Manchester, we will cross the border of Salford though. I'll explain that. It's on the other side of the aqueduct that we end on with this video. But these are my favourite out of all the structures. It used to be dams, but aqueducts, I love aqueducts, I just love looking at them, I don't know what it is. I've just got aquediction, I suppose you could call it. Yeah, I used to be into dams and reservoirs, I still am. Two other crossings run parallel. One is the sewage going to the treatment works on the other bridge, and anyway, let's walk to the next aqueduct. We're at the end of our journey before we enter Manchester, so next time we're in the town centre, it looks like, because there's not much. We're going to be following what we can find, as we did. That's the Salford section of the canal, which is now buried behind me, completely buried under there. Fletcher's Gate and canal system is on the other side, which is also no longer in existence, and it doesn't look like there's water. Anymore. The canal's certainly there, and it's very wide. Anyway, that's what one looks like when it's drained of water. Ace that, innit? Can we top it? In relation to the landfill sites I talked about, so the land and ground I'm walking on now was once landfill. It's turned to soil now, but under there, there's still stuff under there. I won't go into that, but like I say, be careful. Moseley Common's a good example, because in 1959, Moseley Common was a coal mine with loads of train lines. The first shaft was sunk at Moseley Common in 1868. It was followed by 4 other shafts over the next 20 years. There were railway wagons filled with coal, all kinds of sorted coal and unsorted stone, and buildings where people sorted it. There was trains being sent to the main lines and all over the country. Moseley Common colliery eventually closed in 1968, but all trace of its existence on the surface has since been removed. You wouldn't know that there was a colliery there. That was a landfill site also. Near the city, it gets messier. That's how I explain it. There's all kinds of things going on. They've been built on top of. Manchester city centre is actually built on top of the old Manchester city centre. It's all still underneath it in the underground. That is absolutely true. The canals are all under there. There's all sorts of things underneath Manchester, and there's an old town underneath there, which is Roman. So just take care on these sites. Watch where you go in, and don't assume it's countryside because it's green. All this stuff crunching under my feet has grown in the landfill.